Good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, April 6th, and this is in case you missed Psychology 1. If you're watching this, that means you couldn't make the class today, whether that be in person or virtually. Maybe something came up. Maybe the weather was too nice today. I don't know. It's not raining yet. Or maybe you were abducted by aliens. Who knows? Regardless, I hope you're well. Hope those around you are well. And I hope that you had an enjoyable spring break. So, since you guys are new returning to me, and this is the first time that you guys have probably had me this year, I do these every day so that if you can't make it to class, you get the general idea of the things that we did. I try to keep them pretty short. Today's maybe a little longer because I've got to go through a few important things with you guys. There is going to be one thing that you're not going to be able to do that we did in class, okay? But the main ideas are going to be here when I do these. So if there's ever a day that you miss or can't make it for some reason, you can check Google Classroom probably by about the end of the school day, and there'll be a rundown on the things that we did. So welcome back. I haven't had you guys in a while. I haven't seen you this year for sure. And so it's nice to have you guys back. And obviously, I think from when you guys were younger, I really, really enjoy teaching psychology. I like talking about it. I think there's a lot of interesting things that we can discuss as it's quarter goes on. Now, the weird part about this is if I'm figuring this out right, I think I've only got you guys for about 35 days. We've got a lot to get done in 35 days. We're going to move pretty quick. We might not hit every topic that we would usually do in a regular year. But if you come back next year and take Psychology 2, I guarantee we'll have you set up to do okay. Okay. So the way this class is going to work, first of all, Tuesday through Friday, we are going to have just kind of normal, regular class. The one thing I am going to do is I am probably going to give you guys a bunch of work time to work on things. I'm going to teach you very similarly to how I taught my second quarter classes, in that we'll go through things for 20, 30, 35 minutes at the start of class. We'll do attendance. We'll do trivia every day. And then we're going to go through whatever our topics are for the day. And then there'll be some work time, probably about half the class or so, give or take, a little bit depending on the day, to work on the assignment for the week. We will take tests. They will be open resource because, let's be honest, if you're at home, how can I stop you? So if the people who are at home can use the resources, the people who are here can use the resources too. In other words, it'd be a really good idea to take some notes, okay? So the class days will just be kind of the regular. Obviously, we're meeting from 9:36 to 10:57 every day, so after nutrition break. But that should be the way it is the rest of the year. Now, obviously, for the first couple of weeks, if you're in person, you're only going to be here for 2 days. Whether that be Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday, Friday. And then come April 20th, if you're in person, you'll be able to be here 4 days. People who are home, if you're in cohort 3, don't worry. I work really hard to make sure you're involved, to teach you stuff. It's just your job to plug in and be along for the ride and help out along the way. Okay. Now, as far as Mondays go, I use them. Yesterday, I had you guys do one thing for me. I'm not going to lie, the participation on it was not great. So I am going to let you guys know that I am not going to do a ton of new stuff ever on Mondays, but usually our work will be due on Mondays. So you'll have like Monday to finish up assignments, get caught up. I may give you a test to do on a Monday. So it's going to be important that you utilize that time. I'm never going to give you a ton of stuff to do on Monday. The only way you're going to have a ton of things to do on Monday is if you don't do any work during the week. Okay. So for instance, yesterday, let's go to your Google Classroom. Yesterday, if you went in, what I did is I posted the online rules and expectations that you can see right there that we're going to go through in a minute. And then I had a Google form that I asked you guys to do. If you haven't done that Google form yet, please do click on that, take that quick. It's not much. It's not anything super complicated. Some personal information, and by personal, like what's your favorite movie, what's your favorite kind of music, but then also some things that are really helpful for me in other ways, like how do you learn best and what makes learning new things hard for you. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, what Mondays are going to look like. I also yesterday posted the schedule. Now that schedule is important because it also has, let me open this up here for you. It also has the lunch schedule, like which teachers have lunch, which hour there. So if you haven't gotten a chance to look at that yet, don't know what lunch you have third hour, that should tell you where you go and who's going to have lunch with you. So there you go. Okay. Now, that is kind of how things are going to go as far as class goes, but make sure you do take advantage of those Mondays. Yeah. So class rules and grading policies. I included that document in my classroom. I'm actually going to open it up here on the screen. You don't have to open it up to go through it with me, but I'll run you guys through. Okay, so this is going to kind of do a couple things. I'm going to go through these things quickly, but I do want to make sure that everybody understands what's going on. So I kind of left these as the online expectations because I think that there's going to be times this quarter where everybody's going to be online. I think as far as the classroom goes, we'll kind of discuss that as we go. But if you're wondering what we do in this class, okay, the goal of this class is going to be to cover varied topics in psychology, including what is psychology, how do psychologists run experiments, how do they collect data and information. We're going to talk about the brain and the spinal cord and the nervous system and various parts of the body that play a role in psychology. We're also going to hit on sleeping and dreaming. And if we can sneak anything else in, we're going to try to get sensation and perception in. We'll kind of see how things go. Okay, so those are going to be our main topics. And then if you continue on next year and take psychology 2, or if you've already taken it, you kind of know that we go a little bit deeper into more theoretical things. So we're going to accomplish getting through these things in a number of ways. We're going to have at least one project, the dream project, that we'll do toward the end. That'll probably be like our May project. As a matter of fact, I may actually assign that here pretty soon, so you guys can get cracking on that. We will take tests. They are going to be open resource. They'll be Google Forms. So you kind of get rewarded for taking good notes. We will have little article guides where I assign short articles, couple pages. Your first assignment's kind of a little article guide. And we may have small breakout rooms. And we're obviously going to have some large discussions. Okay. And sometimes along the way, we do touch on other topics like, deja vu. Why is it that when one person yawns, other people tend to yawn, or if someone says yawn, people tend to yawn? Okay, we hit on some of those things. So the expectations, I'll go through the online expectations, but also I'll kind of mention the things in class too. Obviously, the classroom physically is kind of back to normal, minus a bunch of chairs. If you would have been in here last quarter, I only had 12 desks. My room is kind of back to what it was when you guys visited me the first time. So students shall show proper respect to the teacher, other students, and themselves, whether verbally, in the chat, in the breakouts, or in classroom. Guys, it's important in a system like this that we take good care of each other. We want to make sure that the people that are at home are as involved as they can be. We want to use the chat for good, not for side conversations or giving people a hard time or even asking someone out. Apparently that happened last quarter in a class. We want to make sure that we're taking good care of each other. It's been a weird school year. We want to make sure we get a lot out of this. Proper classroom language, including in the chat. Keep the swearing to a minimum. Name calling, belittling of others. Make sure not to cross people's lines. Just generally take good care of each other. Proper classroom behavior. Now, when you're at home, don't let your distraction be or square be a distraction. Okay. I know that the general tendency is to turn your camera off and just to be this little circle in the middle of a black box. I would really appreciate it if your camera was on. And, if you turned on the microphone when you wanted to say something, or you don't have to use that hand raise function when you want to ask a question, just unmute and blurt the question out. I'll hear you. Okay. And if I don't, keep blurting. It's okay. And try to make sure you're listening to directions. I'm kind of giving them in two directions now. I'm talking to people who are in the room. I'm talking to people who are on the computer. I'm going to do the best I can to give the directions clearly and thoroughly. And if you guys know me, I generally tend to over-explain things, if anything. Mute your microphone when you're at home and you're not involved in not talking. You don't need to listen to your music or your dog barking or things like that. Cameras on would be great. I'm not going to obviously require it. I can't require it. It's nice if I can see you. I can see how you're reacting. I can tell if you're getting it or not. I've had pretty good success this year with having people have their cameras on. It's been about 50-50. If you don't, though, I understand. For some of you guys, it bogs down your internet at your house. And, obviously, though, I miss seeing you guys' faces. It's a little harder to teach black silent boxes. Let's just go with that. Okay. Abide by all the rules as stated in the MHS handbook. When you are here, you have to be wearing a mask. It has to cover your nose. The only time you can take the mask off is to get a drink of water. Okay. No food in the classroom. Sorry, you're going to have to finish your nutrition break stuff before you come in. I can't have people taking their masks on and off and chewing and all those different things. I will also follow that and abide by that too. Okay. And make sure you're using your technology appropriately. I'm going to be really honest. I'm not coming down hard on people about phones this year, but don't let your stuff be a distraction. I do during work time use GoGuardian. I'm going to need to set that up here in the next couple of days for this quarter. So make sure that you're doing the things you should be doing. Try to complete all the assignments and tasks on time and submit them in Google Classroom. We obviously won't have any pen and paper homework this quarter. Everything is going to be a Google Doc or a Google Form. Do your best to get those in on time. Like I said, most of that stuff is going to be due Mondays at midnight. Okay. If we do a test, if I were to give you a test on a Thursday, the test will be due Thursday by midnight. Okay. Everything's going to be a by midnight basis. Okay. Make sure you're bringing your stuff to school that you need, or you have the stuff at home that you need. Obviously, your computer charger, first and foremost, are probably the most important things. Okay. If you're in the classroom, obviously there's outlets all around the room, so you'll be able to charge. I have 2 extra chargers that I can lend out for my class only. Maybe not a bad idea to have a regular notebook. It all depends on how you like to do things. Okay. And last but not least, be on time to the meet or to class on time. I'll be really honest. The biggest pain in the butt about some people are here and some people are here is taking attendance. It takes forever. And if you log in late, I have to email Lee and have her change the attendance, and it's a pain in the butt, and it causes a bunch of extra work for me. My teacher pet peeve is people being on time. I am an early person, always have been. So please do your best to be on time. It just makes my life a lot easier. I personally would appreciate it. If you're not meeting the expectations, you could be removed from a class session. You could be hit the button, kick you out of class if you're online. And if I have to send you up to the office, I will too. I don't like doing that. I haven't had to do it this year. I kicked someone out of freshman class for kind of being annoying during work time, but they weren't really doing anything that someone probably wouldn't do in a regular class. If I have to write somebody up, I will. Okay, grades. Okay, so listen, Psych 1, there are 3 standards. They're very similar to the American history standards, but each one of those 3 standards is going to make up 1/3 of your grade. Okay, when everything's said and done, each standard is exactly the same in weight. You have to get at least a 2 in each standard to pass the class. If you were to get a 3, and a 1.5, you just failed Psychology 1. We don't want that to happen. Okay, we'll go quick through the rubrics in a minute, but I guess I will take late work. Obviously, the sooner that you get it in after it's late, the better. Trying to be a little bit more flexible this year about this, because I understand that, well, we have a pandemic on our hands. And so sometimes things come up that are outside of even a regular school year's control. So I will be taking things late. You will get annoying reminders. If you fall behind big time, your parents will get emails letting them know you're behind. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to throw in on that. Not really. Okay. All right. Now the standards, we have psychological content. You can look at that right there. It's basically like a do you know your stuff? Can you apply theories? Do you understand the work of psychologists? Things like that. Okay. Obviously, it's going to be up to you to go ahead and take a look at these things and go, hey, I want to get a 3. Here's what I need to be able to do. Hey, I want to get a 4. Here's what I need to do. Oh, I just need a 2. Here's what I need to be able to do. Okay. The second standard is psychological communication. This is, can you write it? Can you speak it? Okay. Yes, Brian and I are big into writing. We think it's a huge skill. Okay. So yeah, your commas are going to get graded, your capital letters, your sentence structure, your paragraph form, your spelling are getting graded. And if we do speaking things, you're gonna have to maybe record yourself giving a talk about something. So we're going to grade things like rate of speech, and are you too quiet? Are you too loud? Okay. We're not going to do in front of the classroom speeches. It's just, it doesn't lend itself well to that. Okay. Again, you can check out like where you belong on these things. Okay. And the last one is analysis and research. And this is going to be kind of obviously, the research part is, can you find good and varied sources, and can you cite them in an APA format? Yes, we're APA in here. And then the analysis part is, can you apply the things that we are talking about to regular everyday life? Okay. Now, the beauty of all this is, I am going to give you crazy amounts of feedback on your stuff. Okay. It's something that I've improved on a ton since you guys were freshmen. When you guys were freshmen, I kind of slept great on it, gave it back to you, maybe made some real general comments. I am going to give you feedback on your work every time. Okay. That feedback is sometimes going to be really positive. Hey, this is a really great thought. I like this example. This is awesome. Sometimes it's going to be, you're not having end punctuation. This is a run-on sentence. You only answered one of the two questions. Now, with that feedback, if you get a grade, if you get something, you look at a 1.5 and you're like, oh my God, and you see all this feedback, you have two choices. You could either go, okay, I'm going to use this feedback on the next assignment to make sure that I do better, or you could go, I'm going to fix this assignment and resubmit it. When you resubmit it, I will look at it again. If it's worthy of a better grade, I will put a better grade in the grade book. So use feedback, resubmit things, get the score that you deserve, that you want to earn. Okay. That's going to be up to you. If you don't resubmit anything the whole quarter, that's fine. If you resubmit everything, that's fine. The one thing that I don't let you resubmit are the tests. Honestly, I'm letting you do them open note. You'll be fine. Okay. Last couple quick things. In case of absences, I am going to post these videos every day. If you were in class, God, I hope you're not watching this. It's also obviously an expectation that if you miss work, you get it made up. Okay. Please feel free to contact me via email, chat, video chat. If you have questions about anything, and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Obviously, I sleep at night, so that's going to get in the way a little bit. Contact information below, me, my email, the school number, and that's my cell number. If chats aren't working, if email's not working, you can always text me. Okay. All right. Now, going back to the chapter 1 presentation. Okay. Yes, this morning I put your first assignment in things, and we'll go through kind of the expectations on that and what I want you guys to do. That's going to be due Monday by midnight. It's called What is Psychology? We're going to finish things off today with a brainstorming activity, and let me know if you have any questions. Okay. So this is kind of my feeling on how the last quarter went. I had nothing but American history 3 hours a day. It made my life kind of easy because I got to teach the same thing over and over and over. And we made it to today, and that was great, but they're still freshmen, and they're freshmen. Let's just put it that way. Okay. And so some days things went really well and I felt good. And some days this was my workout, eating turf. Okay. Now, obviously, we're getting all this first day stuff out of the way. Now, when it comes to this assignment, let me show you guys the assignment and that I'm going to ask you guys to do. Okay, I posted it this morning. It's called What is Psychology? And let's go to the instructions. That's everybody's in class. Okay, here's our first assignment of the quarter. You'll have plenty of class time to work on it throughout the week. It'll be due by Monday at midnight. Please make sure to answer the questions in complete sentences or paragraphs. Use proper grammar, sentence starters, and evidence or examples to create the best possible answers. And then if you click on it, you will see that I included some reading. Okay, a couple pages of reading. Okay, how about 3 pages of reading? Okay. And then there are 4 questions that go along with that. Okay. Now, be complete in your answers and things like that, but really fast, I gave you some helpful hints and reminders. So most of the assignments that we're going to do are going to utilize all 3 standards: content, communication, and analysis and research. So make sure that you're doing a good job in each one of those areas every time. Some helpful hints: make sure you get the assignments done on time and get them in. Obviously, when I'm grading things, when that idea is fresh in my head, I give really good feedback. If I'm getting things 50 days late, I may just grade it and send it back and not give any feedback for improvement. Make sure you're writing in complete sentences and paragraphs. Make sure you're restating the question where appropriate. Okay. No pronoun starts unless it's an opinion-based question. Okay. And make sure and know the grammar matters. Okay, it always matters. You're going to want to write really good sentences and paragraphs. Ask questions when you need to on the assignments. And I'm going to make this point: most of your assignments will be short, but they will include some amount of reading. Okay. Now, this is the part in things where we did a little brainstorming activity. I'm not going to have you do that because brainstorming by yourself is just thinking to yourself. So basically, anytime that you have plotted out for psychology today, use that to get started on what is psychology. Remember, it's not due until Monday, so you could do the reading today and then stop. You could do the reading in the first question, or you could plow through the whole thing. And then this week, when you have work time, you can use that to get done whatever you need to get done. If you have any questions about anything, please make sure and let me know. I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.